morning, everybody, and welcome to the show today. I have something special lined up for you. I'm a member of an organization called Business Networking International, and we're getting ready to have a membership drive. And so those people out there that are just starting businesses or maybe need a little help to get more clientele and referrals into their business, we're going to spend this morning talking about that, and that's what we're going to focus on. But I got to tell you this, of course, Regina is here with me, and you know, Regina is retired, but how many days did you work this week?
3 out of 4.
Yeah, and how many days are you working next week?
4 out of 5.
Yeah, so if you're planning on retiring, do not follow Regina's example because it's really not that good, is it?
No.
You're working almost as much now as when you were teaching.
My kids say that I'm at school more than I was last year.
You probably are. You probably are. Anyway, we are glad you're here today. I am Doc Carball with Keller Williams Realty, and by now you should know the slogan, if you want opportunity to knock, you talk to Doc. So we're going to show you some photos of a house that I have. The address on it is 2900 Bobo Avenue. It's right off of exit 25, real close to the interstate. And we're going to pull you up some pictures here to kind of show you a little bit about the house. Regina, of course, goes into all my houses, I think, but it's a brick home, as you can see. Beautiful with some columns on it. And we've got it listed at $134,900. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, over 2,000 square feet. And the washer and the dryer, the refrigerator, the appliances all stay. You've got a fireplace. That's down in the basement there. So you have a family room just off of the garage workshop area. You got a nice patio out there. And so you got lots of space for a teenager or even a separate living quarters if you would have, say, an elderly parent or somebody like that wanting to stay with you. The kitchen is very large and spacious. It's a kitchen combo. And if you go right out that kitchen door there, you would land onto a porch. And the porch runs the entire length of the house. And so it's just a beautiful home with lots of possibilities to it. It was built in the 60s, and right there's that porch. Isn't that a great porch?
Beautiful.
I mean, you
Wow.
can, and what I like about the house is small. I mean, the yard is small. The house is large, but the yard is small. So if you're one of those people who doesn't want to do a lot of yard work, then this is the house for you. But like I said, it's $134,900. And it's off of Bobo Avenue, just as you turn down Candy's Lane. So you're real close to the interstate, easy access to Chattanooga or anywhere else you want to go. And you were in the house.
I was in the house.
Big, isn't it?
It is big.
Yeah.
The deck is most impressive.
Yeah.
If you like to cook out or like to sit outside, that deck is gorgeous.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you get a chance in the next few days or next week, drive by 2900 Bobo Avenue. And if it's not for you, you might know of somebody who might be interested in a house like that. Great location. Area. Yeah, great location. All right, well, anyway, check that out. And what we're going to talk about today, you'd always like to have something that we can talk about. So I thought, well, we've done laws, we've done education things.
Education.
So I decided I would go on the internet and look at what had happened on this date in history in years gone by. And so we're going to just kind of pull a couple of those things up and just talk about what happened on this day in the past. You ready? All right. And this day in the past, 1492. What do you think happened that year?
We found America.
Yeah, Columbus set sail.
I am good.
Columbus set sail. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he would say for America because he didn't know what was out there, but that's when he set sail. On this date in 1608, John Smith was elected the president of the Jamestown colony. So that's
September 10th?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. In 1752, on this date, the Liberty Bell arrives in Philadelphia. You've seen that?
I have.
Big old bell with a big crack in it, right? Yeah. In 1788, on this date, and you may not know this, New York City became the first capital of the United States. Did you know that?
I never knew it was a capital.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, I knew it was a big city, but I didn't know it had ever been the capital.
Long before my time, Doc.
I understand, but you know, we both did take history, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it's been a while. It's been a while.
back in time.
All right, in 1789 on this date, two things happened. The Treasury Department was established by Congress, and Congress also created on this date the post office. Okay. Also on this date, in 1814, Francis Scott Key wrote this very inspiring song. Do you know what it was? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Star Spangled Banner.
Yes, Star Spangled Banner. I was about ready to start humming to you. On this date in 1846, the sewing machine was patented. Can you sew?
No, never used one of those.
You know, I think sewing machines are obsolete now. I mean, I'm doing good to put on an iron-on patch, you know, or to sew on a button.
Well, I looked at a house with you where the lady had a sewing machine in every room.
Yes, yes.
She had them from antique to modern in every room.
And she sewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not, I think that's sort of a lost art form. I mean, even if I want my pants hemmed up, I have to take them somewhere because
I tape mine up.
You tape them. Duct tape? Duct tape fixes everything. Okay, on this date in 1886, Geronimo surrendered. Geronimo, the Indian. You do remember that, right?
No.
Okay, you need to watch more Westerns. All right, you might recognize this. The comic strip Blondie appeared in 1930. You ever get the funny pages?
I used to read Blondie.
Okay, all right. All right, on this date in 1945, here's a good one. Japan finally surrendered.
That is a good one.
That is a
good
one.
Good one.
All right, now here's one. This will date you and I. In 1953, Swanson sold on this date its first TV dinner. Remember Swanson TV dinners?
I remember Swanson. I don't remember 1953, but I
No.
remember Swanson.
She doesn't want to date herself at all, does she? I can remember growing up and thinking that a Swanson's dinner was a treat.
Oh, me too.
It's like, oh, pop that in the oven, and it comes out, 30 minutes
now
later.
we
And
still
you've got,
Swanson pot pies.
yeah, yeah. But no, of course, now you got all these other TV dinners. But yeah, they started the TV dinner.
Huh.
All right, here's another one for you. In 1955, Gunsmoke premiered.
Now I remember Gunsmoke.
I do too.
Religiously
Yeah.
watched Gunsmoke.
I like Matt, and
Bonanza
I like Kitty.
and Gunsmoke were.
Kitty was a saloon girl.
Well, see, my last
But she was a
name,
good saloon
my last
girl.
name was Dillon, so Marshall Dillon was
Oh yeah.
always.
Did you claim him as a
Oh
long lost
yeah,
relative?
oh absolutely.
Yeah. All right, here's another one. 1955, Elvis Presley made his first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. I imagine he was probably shaking his hips back then.
I think they just showed him from here up.
Did they? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but
Okay.
that was the word.
Okay. Do you remember this song? That'll Be the Day.
That'll be the day.
Buddy
You
Holly
say
and the
goodbye.
Crickets reached
I
number
remember.
one, and I remember that song.
I remember too.
That's a fun.
I remember.
That's a fun song even now.
Oh wait, we still play it.
Yeah, I like to listen to all the oldies. I guess that really does date me. All right, in 1960, on this date, here's another song by Chubby Checkers, The Twist. Do you remember doing the twist?
We still do the twist, Doc.
I
We
know.
remember. We
I
still do
know.
the twist.
Well, I don't do the twist anymore, but I can remember.
We still,
Doing it.
they still play the twist.
Well, they play it. I just don't think I do it anymore because I might throw something out and it might
Well,
not
in
come back in.
1960, on this date, I was almost born.
Almost born.
I was almost here.
How far away were you?
2 months.
Okay.
I was being thought about.
Okay. All right. Here you go. All right. 1966. Now I love this. Star Trek debuted. Oh, live long and prosper.
Remember,
I
never
just
watched
love
it.
Spock. I mean,
Never
I was
watched
a sci-fi person. My dad and I would sit there and watch Star Trek
I don't
every
think
time
I've
it came
ever
on.
watched Star Trek.
Oh, that wounds me. That wounds me. All righty. In 1970, we began Monday Night Football. Now, I love football.
We didn't have Hank Jr. singing then, though.
No.
Just the Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
Love it. Now we play Thursday night, Wednesday
Yeah.
night.
Oh, I know.
I watched it last night.
Yeah, I love Monday Night Football, and I love
Yep.
getting from church as fast as I can so I can watch Sunday football,
yeah.
too. So, all right, 1972. Here's a show you might remember. The Waltons premiered. Grandma Walton and Grandpa Walton, he was always ornery.
Oh, I know.
John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.
Yeah, everybody
Good
saying
night,
good
John
night.
Boy.
Good night,
Good night.
Elizabeth. Good night, Aaron.
Good night, Mary Beth. Good night.
Yeah, good night, Mom. Good night. Yeah, okay. So the Waltons began in 1972. In 1977, the Mary Tyler Moore Show premiered. Do you remember her?
I do.
Okay, good.
I was a senior that year.
She is telling her
I am
age. I
telling
didn't
my
think
age.
you didn't want it.
Well, I'm retired, Doc. I can't really hide it anymore.
Well, that is true. You got to be at least above 50.
That's right.
Okay, well, we'll leave it
So-
there. All right, now this one's not so happy, but in 1997 on this date, a funeral for a princess.
Princess Diana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll go back a couple of years. Let me tell you a major event.
Okay,
September 10th, 1985.
and this isn't in my notes, so
I
this
know.
is good.
The legendary Kellen Pickle
Okay.
was born.
Okay.
My first child
Okay.
on this date in 1985.
Okay, so that makes this date famous.
That's right. I can always remember.
Okay, well,
September
good.
10th.
You know that, so if you know him, send him a card, right?
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Facebooking.
Facebook him. All right. All right, 1998, on this date, Google was founded. What
There's a
would we
biggie.
do without Google?
What year?
1998.
God, that long ago?
I was thinking that was kind of recent.
I was thinking it was a long time ago. I just learned how to use it.
Gotcha. All right, 2001, we know all about the terrorists and the plotting up against the country and everything there. So that was about to take place. And then in 2011, and I don't know that I think this is a good thing or a bad thing. I won't be political here, okay? But this policy was started of don't ask, don't tell. So we'll just leave that where
Leave
it
it at
is. But
that.
yes, that was started. So those are some things that happened on this date.
On this date.
Throughout history. I did not know about your child, so I apologize for that
That's
one.
all right.
But we're good to go other than that. So, all right. Well, like I said, I want you to check out the house on Bobo Avenue when you get a chance. Drive by it. If it's not for you, I just bet you could find a friend, a cousin, a relative, a non-friend, somebody who might be interested in a really good house like that. In fact, my first guest on this show, our first guest, has actually been in that house also. So I'll get him to give me a plug for the house too. And we'll kind of see what happens from
Nice
there.
house.
All right, so what we're going to do today, Business Networking International, we're going to have actually two guests on today. The first one is Eric Gardner with Volunteer Ridipest, and I believe he already does a commercial for the show here for the station. So he will not be a stranger to anybody, but he's going to talk about what BNI really is and what it means and what you can gain if you join a group like that. And the second guest that we'll end up having is a gentleman by the name of Joe Callahan, and he runs the shop Dick's Graphics. So if you've ever done any books, binding and printing and signs and banners, you may very well have talked with Joe, and he's also going to talk about BNI and what that's done for him. So we're only going to have two guests, but we're going to focus on this visitor day coming up and see if we can promote that. And maybe if you're starting out in business, give you a chance to find a way to promote yourself and maybe increase your business, because we all want to make a little bit of money so that we can all retire like Regina has done. Because I visited my financial advisor this week, and I'll be lucky if I can afford to retire when I'm 100. So it was I left there kind of depressed. So it's kind of like, go out and buy Bobo Avenue and get me started. That's what I think. So all right, so we'll be back in just a few minutes here with our first guest, Eric Gardner of Volunteer Ridipest. And so we'll see you in just a moment.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Has your disability application been denied? Are you frustrated with the administration's processing of your claim? Do you feel as though the administration simply does not understand why you cannot work? You're not alone. My name is Matthew Coleman, and I'm an attorney representative. I find that many of my clients share these concerns and others. As a representative, it's my job to communicate your claim to the administration in a language that they can understand. As an attorney, it's my duty to fight for the disability benefits that you deserve. Come talk to me. The Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson, PC.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here. Doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Okay, we are back and with Eric Gardner from Volunteer Rid-A-Pest, as I had promised. And I guess, Eric, you're no stranger to the show because Joe just informed me that you know a little bit about everything.
I don't know if everything, but I know a little bit about some things.
Okay, because otherwise I was going to challenge Regina to find something you don't know before we get done with our segment, you know, to see what happens.
Probably can.
But before we talk about B&I and what B&I is, I remember I said to you, go check out the house on Bobo Avenue. Now, you've been in that house.
I have.
Is it a good house?
It is a very nice house. It's well built. It's very spacious. I like that deck on the back covered.
We all like the deck.
And if it weren't for my 5 kids, I'd be interested in that house.
And it doesn't have any termites, does it?
No termites. It's in good shape.
There you go. So he knows that. All right. Well, enough about that. We are actually here to talk about B&I. B&I stands for Business Networking International. It's a group that's been in Cleveland for 4 years?
Probably about 4.5 now.
4.5. All right. And I joined it, I think, the second week it started, and you joined, I don't know exactly when you joined.
Probably 3 months in.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk to you about Business Networking International and what it is. And Eric right now is our president. And you are a president for a year, and then you step back, and he appoints his person who follows him, and we just keep kind of moving like that. When I first joined the group, we had 6 of us, and now we got 40 of us. So we have a Visitors Day coming up, so would you mind telling them just a little bit what business networking actually is and how it can help somebody that's in business?
Well, I discovered probably 15 years ago that the best form of advertising is word of mouth.
Absolutely.
You know, you can have billboards, billboards, radio, newspaper, all those things. And while they're good and effective, they're not as effective as if you can get a satisfied customer to tell their friends, neighbors, coworkers about you and say something positive. The trick I couldn't figure out was how to get people to do that. You know, you could ask them to do it, but you know, if they didn't really feel motivated. So the way I was going about it was I tried to do a really good job, try to impress them with that, and hope they would tell somebody. Well, and it worked to some extent, but I stumbled across B&I because you told me about it.
Right.
And the way it works, we have a lot of different businesses each different category, you can only have one, like one pest control company, one realtor, one plumber, one electrician. We all meet once a week, tell each other about our businesses, what we're looking for in terms of referrals.
And one thing, I'll interject this, if you only have one of each type of business in there, is that you're in a group where you have no competition within that group for what it is you do. If I'm the only real estate agent in there, then those people that know people buying and selling houses, that's very good for me, just like with you in pest control. So that's
true.
You know, you don't have a competitor in there.
That's one of the strongest points about BNI is the fact that you are the only one in your category, what you do. That's your seat. So all the referrals come to you. And when we started out, we just had, like you said, 6, and then we grew to 12 or 13. That's when I came in. And we were still getting quite a bit of business, but not like it is now.
Right.
With 40 members, I've got 40 people every week out looking for me new clients.
Exactly.
And you've got 40 people out looking for you, people that want to buy and sell homes. And so that's why this group is doing so well.
Now, we went over our stats today, and I didn't write them down in front of me, but we set goals. And one of the goals that we set was to come up with $1,200,000 in profits from the group, meaning money that goes into our pocket. Okay?
Yeah.
And today, our group, and we have till January 1st, just hit the $1 million mark. That's how much business we've passed amongst 40 people.
That's right. And that's when we set that goal of 1.25 million back on January the 1st of this year.
I didn't think we'd make it.
Yeah, well, nobody did. They all looked at us like, you got to be kidding. But, you know, we set a high goal. We figured if we were unsuccessful, it would still be a good number. You know, we may not hit 1.25, but if we hit $1 million, we'd be happy. Well, through the end of August, we hit $1 million. So we've still got 4 months to go.
Right.
And I don't see any problem at all exceeding that number. And it's not anything we're doing difficult. You know, when my guys are in someone's home doing a pest control treatment, if they say, do you know a good electrician? I do. I can give them the card of a good electrician. If they say, do you know a good realtor? Which is what happens many times. I say, yeah, I know a great realtor, and I give them your card. And the same thing, you know, if the electrician's in a home, he can hand out the plumber's card or the, you know, the chiropractor's card. You know, if they say, oh, my back's hurting, hey, I know a guy that can help you. Here you go. And that's the way it works. And we, by meeting every week, we know each other quite well. We become friends. We trust one another. And it's just amazing what happens when you get to know people at that level and you trust one another and have confidence. You feel good about giving a referral.
Sure, absolutely. And so when is the date of the Visitors' Day that's coming up? Because it's open to anybody.
It is September the 27th at the YMCA, back in the youth room.
Okay.
So if you come in the front entrance, we're going to be there with signs and we'll direct you back to the room. And we're looking for a lot of different categories. We've got 40 members in our group, but you've got a list there of a lot of different other businesses that we're looking for. Because we have people asking, do you know anyone that does this? Do you know a good caterer? Do you know a good physical therapist? You know, I don't have the list in front of me, but people are looking for these things. And if we have them in our group, we get to know them and we can send business your way.
Absolutely. One thing also that I like about the group is that you can't, it is a commitment. You can't just show up once and then not show up for 3 or 4 weeks. You only are allowed, it's like going to school, Regina, you're only allowed so many absences. And then you lose your seat, and your seat becomes available to your competitor or anyone else. And the other thing I like is accountability. I believe in accountability. And so if you're in BNI and we get a couple bad reports on you, then you'll be asked to leave the group, because the whole idea is that you're going to associate BNI with you and with your name, and so you want it to be people that are known to be trustworthy and worthy of hiring. And so there's a big accountability factor, and I think I've seen us drop 3 people in the 4.5 years that I've been in the group. So
it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. We try on the front end to investigate everyone thoroughly before we allow them to become a member. We're not just sending an open invitation out to anybody. We want people that know what they're doing, they're ethical, they do business right, and they, you know, if they do have a complaint, I mean, those happen from time to time. Take care of it. Make the person happy, refund their money, do what you need to do to make them happy. And if they do that, then they're going to do fine in BNI. If they don't, then they're not going to last long.
Right, right. Well, we're going to list off some of the categories that we're looking for. Now, we don't have a category for a retired school teacher, or I would put you in there in a minute.
But see, I can do any of those.
Okay, well, we'll
Well,
talk about that later.
maybe not any.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
back up
kind of
on
like Eric can talk about anything. All right, if you know of some people in the community that work in these fields and they're struggling, or maybe their business is doing okay, but they'd like their business to do great, then I would encourage you to attend that meeting on the 27th at the Y and see what you think when you come to the meeting. Here's some of the categories we're looking for, and you maybe can help us find these people. A moving company. I mean, goodness, we have talked many, many times about a moving company. A florist. Everybody in there that is a business person always sends out gifts, and there's just no better gift a lot of times than to have a florist put together a package
I'm
for
surprised
you.
there's not a florist in
I'm
there.
shocked. You know, we've had several visits.
I'm surprised at that.
And it all comes down to time commitment. But I'm telling you what, as a realtor, I can't afford to miss these meetings.
Are the meetings in the evenings?
No,
or?
they're about 7:45 to about 9:30 on a Thursday morning every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Yeah.
And a lot of people let that get in their way. They say, you know, I just can't give that kind of time. And that's how I felt initially.
Me too.
Because that's when I get my guys out the door. We meet at the office at 7:30, 7:45. I give them their assignments for the day, and they're out the door. And it usually takes till 8:30, 8:45. Well, what I started doing was giving them a little more responsibility, which has worked out great. Trust them a little more to know what they need to do. If it's something I have to have my hands on, I do it Wednesday evening, make notes, and leave it for them. And my most important client is from 8 o'clock until 9:30 every Thursday morning, because I have gotten a ton of business from BNI. So I just tell people, you know, if you had a meeting with your most important client and somebody else called and said, hey, I need you to be here at 9 o'clock, you say, I can't. I've got an appointment. I'll be there at 10.
Yep.
Or I can come at 7 before the meeting, but I can't come between 8 and 9:30. And that's what I do, and it's worked great for me. I still get everything done I need to do, and have gotten a lot of business.
Great. All right, well, let me kind of wrap up this segment here with talking a little bit more about what we're looking for. So we mentioned the moving company, the florist. I'm just going to hit a few of these. A carpet cleaner. Now, I can tell you as a realtor, I could find people needing their carpets cleaned all day long. We're looking for an attorney, a house cleaning company, a commercial cleaning company that cleans offices, equipment rental, a caterer. We cater some of our functions, and we'd love to have a caterer within the group. We also need a landscaper. We've had one or two. In fact, one of our landscapers, we call him a success story, is he came into the group and he's done so well and gotten so busy, and his crews are so large that he really can't be in the group anymore. And so it's kind of one of those good, bad, good, bad things, but he's been extremely successful. We're real happy for him, but we do miss him. But that launched him, and he's just always sending, what's cool is he is always sending us referrals because he's very appreciative of what the group has been able to do for him. So anyway, we have lots of openings, lots of positions available for people that are interested in increasing your referral business. And so, Eric, we're going to wrap up this session. Tell them again what time and where. And if they have any questions, would you give them your phone number?
I sure will. It's going to be at the YMCA, September the 27th. That's Thursday morning. Start about 7:45. So just come in the main entrance. We're going to have signs there. We'll have folks out front to guide you back, so you're not going to have to wander around and look for us. We're going to have breakfast, free breakfast. So you know, if for no other reason, come join us for that. We'll tell you all about BNI, how it's worked for us, how it can work for you, and I think anyone that's in business, you would be foolish not to check it out, because it's one of the best business decisions I've made. It's a very low investment. You do have the investment of time, but the return I've got. I have 3 of my employees in other BNI chapters in Chattanooga and one here in Cleveland. Because of this, we've gotten over $100,000 in new business we would not have gotten without BNI. So it's the best advertising I've ever done.
All right. So what's the phone number for them to call you, and then we'll come back and talk in more detail about your business.
Call my office at 472-7736. If I am not there, then just leave a message. I'll give you a call back and answer any questions. 472-7736.
All righty. So we're going to come back in just a moment, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about Eric and the business and how it has improved his business being in BNI. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Has your disability application been denied? Are you frustrated with the administration's processing of your claim? Do you feel as though the administration simply does not understand why you cannot work? You're not alone. My name is Matthew Coleman, and I'm an attorney representative. I find that many of my clients share these concerns and others. As a representative, it's my job to communicate your claim to the administration in a language that they can understand. As an attorney, it's my duty to fight for the disability benefits that you deserve. Come talk to me. The Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson, PC.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Okay, we are back again with Eric from Volunteer Rid of Pest. And I told him during this segment what I wanted him to talk a little bit more about was how B&I had specifically helped his business. And I know for me, I actually joined B&I at the same time I became a real estate agent, which was the same time that the market did this, went in the toilet. And everybody looked at me and said, that's the worst time to join real estate. And I would have to agree with them, but I got to tell you that because of B&I managed to stay afloat, and I've done well, and you can always do better, but I have done well. My stats have been good, and I've been very appreciative to the group, and it's something that outside of being gone on a vacation, I've never missed a meeting because I know who is buttering my bread. So, and I like my bread buttered. So that's why I'm very committed to it. And I've had agents offer to buy my seat and I won't sell it. So that tells you something. So anyway, we want to learn a little bit more about how B&I has specifically helped you, and I know Regina's got a couple questions for you too, but just to learn a little bit more.
Well, again, you know, I joined the same time you did within just a few months, and it was right at the start of the recession when the housing market was going down. A lot of people were nervous and were cutting back. And across the boards, the pest control industry was down, you know, anywhere from 5 to 8%, the big companies, the intermediate companies. The worst year I had was probably 2009. We were still up 9%. So we were
You were
still
up
growing.
9%.
Yeah. We were still growing. Everybody else was shrinking. We were growing.
Right.
And BNI was a big part of that because, you know, that word of mouth advertising is powerful. And a lot of people don't understand just how powerful it is. And we've had a few people come into BNI. They don't really take full advantage of it. And after a few months, they say, well, I don't think it's really working for me. Well, it's because they're not coming to meetings regularly. They're not doing what BNI teaches us to do. You use the system works every time.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does.
Is there a cost to join? Is it like a union thing?
Well, there is a
union.
cost associated, not necessarily like a union, but it's just like advertising. You know, it costs $365 for the year. There is a $100 registration fee, but the $365 a year is $1 a day for really powerful advertising. You know, you got a workforce of 40 people going out telling other people about you. And most of the guys in our group do business with me, so they know firsthand what I do. They're not just listening to what I say I'm going to do. They've actually had me come to their house and do it, and so they know what we do. And as a result, they can honestly say, "Hey, he came to my house, he took care of my problem, and you know, he does what he says he's going to do." So that's powerful. I mean, I can stay on, get on the television or the radio or the newspaper and tell how good I am. Well, you know, I've got a vested interest in saying that. Well,
Sure.
these other people don't. I mean, they
That's
use
true.
my service, and if they say I did what I said I was going to do and took care of their problem, it carries a lot more weight than if I say it.
Absolutely. So where do you meet? You said you meet every Thursday.
We meet every
Where?
Thursday morning at the Fairfield Inn there on West Side Drive.
Do you eat?
Oh, yes, we
Okay.
eat.
Meet and eat.
There's
My
a, there's
kind
a,
of-
there's
my
a
kind of group.
breakfast, yeah, and it's right beside Bryant's Garden Center as you go down West Side Drive across
Yeah.
from the hospital.
Right.
And easy to find, and we're there every Thursday morning.
Okay. Now, Regina, do you have pests at your house? You know, critters, you know,
A
things that need...
16-year-old pissed?
No,
or-
not that kind.
Not that kind?
No, no. Eric could probably get
I
rid of
do
him too,
have-
but that's not what I'm talking about, you know.
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Bad. Do you do mosquitoes?
We do. We have a service called Mosquito Guard, and it's a monthly service. We use a backpack mist blower, treat all the foliage, the lawn, everywhere the mosquitoes like to hide.
Guaranteed?
100% money back guarantee. We'll treat your lawn. If you're not 100% happy, get one bite, call me, come back, I'll treat it again
One
for
bite,
free.
if they get one bite.
One bite. If you're this particular and you see one fly by, call me, and
So
we'll
like
come
I
back.
was treated by a company, and I've been bitten ever since.
Well, sometimes that happens. It depends on what they use and
But
how
so
they
you
go
would
about
guarantee,
it.
I would just
Oh,
call you and say,
you
hey, it
call
didn't
me,
work,
you
come
say,
back.
come on back, and we'll come back, treat again free of charge.
See, I
if
would
you're-
think in the summertime that would be a great service to people.
Well, we've got several hundred customers that we do on a monthly basis. The material lasts about 30 days, so you
Right.
do have to do it on a monthly basis to get rid of them, keep rid of them. But if you get on that monthly program, you have any problem, we'll come back free of charge, do it again. If you're still not happy after 30 days, we'll give you money back. So I'm taking all the risk when we do these
Right.
treatments. I don't expect you to pay me the money and hope it works. I guarantee you it's going to work. And if it doesn't, it'll cost me, not you.
That's all right. So would you try them?
Absolutely. I may give you a
Okay.
call.
Well, I can say this about Eric. I do know that he comes back. Of course, he does the pest control at my house, and I am allergic to bees. And I had a screened-in porch, and bless his heart, they must have come back 5 or 6 times. And we're still getting bees in on the screened-in porch, and I wanted to enjoy my screened-in porch, but when you're allergic to bees, that's kind of a problem when you got wasps flying around your head. And I mean, they came back, they caulked the attic, then they came back and they caulked all around the stuff, then they caulked around the lights, and they came back and did something else. And I think what we finally found the problem was there's a little drain on that porch, and there was no mesh or anything over that drain, so that's where the wasps were coming in. But his guys probably spent $100 in caulking, which was kind of funny. So I've had a very tightly sealed porch right now, but I have only seen, I think, since that time, maybe one wasp up there, and I don't have a clue how I got up there. But your guys were very faithful, and I know they came out at least 5 times, and I didn't pay for any of those 5 times. Eric just came out and took care of it. And, you know, I can sit out there now and not have to worry about am I going to get stung or not, which is a big deal for me.
It's kind of a point of pride with us and our company. You know, if we take somebody's money to solve their problem, we sincerely want to solve their problem. We're not just taking the money and good luck to you. We want to solve their problem. We want them to be happy.
You do it monthly. Do you do people like, do you have some things that are set up like quarterly or?
Normal pest control, like
Just
spider, ant control,
You
that
just-
sort of thing is quarterly, 4 times a year, and it's guaranteed in between just the same. So if you have any problem, we come back free of charge, do it again.
I had those little tiny ants this year, I guess because the weather was so bad.
Everybody did, yeah.
And your guy came back 2 different times outside of his scheduled time. I just said, the ants are back. He goes, yeah. Well, when we spray them, they move to another section of the yard. So he would chase them through the yard. But I never paid for any of that. I just made a phone call and said, I've still got this problem, and boom, they're there. You got to love that. You know, you got to love that.
Well,
when
that's
you
one of
can
the
call somebody back.
benefits of doing business with a local company.
Absolutely.
You know, if you do business with an out-of-town company, you have to wait till they're back in the area. Well, we're always in the area.
Right.
So if you have a problem, I've got a guy probably within a stone's throw. He can break loose, come over, take care of it, and problem solved.
Yeah, so it's a great service. And you said that B&I has given you $100,000 worth of business that you had not had.
I added it up with what I have gotten from my chapter, and the other 3 guys have gotten from theirs, and they haven't been in as long
They
as
haven't
I
been in
have.
long, right?
There's 2 guys in Chattanooga chapters, and we're moving into the Chattanooga area more.
Okay.
And I added it up, and it's a little over $100,000 in new business that the majority of it, if not all of it, we would not have gotten without B&I, because it comes from word of mouth advertising. And it's just hard to, you know, account for just typical advertising exactly what, you know, the business is coming from. Is it the billboard? Is it this? Is that?
Right.
Well, this is all very easy because they pass a referral slip to me. I make the phone call and say, hey, I've got a referral here from so-and-so, and you know, Doc referred me, told me to give you a call. And a lot of times they'll call me and say,
Right.
Doc sent it, you know, Doc told me to call you. And, you know, I added it all up, and that's what it was. So it really surprised me.
From that 100,000, you'll get more from their
That it does happen that way. What we call tier 2 and tier 3. You know, that referral referred somebody else, and it really helps a business grow. So anyone that's struggling a little bit, you just can't get to that next level. B&I got me to the next level.
Absolutely. And I think one of the other things I like about being in a group like this is not just the fact that it gives me business, but also I know a carpenter, I know a pest control guy, I know an electrician, I know a plumber, I know all these people personally, and so when I have a problem, I don't have to sit there and wonder about, you know, they're going to look at me and go, oh, we can take advantage of her. I don't have to think about that. I have a whole group of people that I know can help me out, even with stuff in my own house, which I really, really appreciate. And, you know, that speaks volumes, because, boy, there's nothing worse than just trying to go through the phone book and just go, this one, and hope that works out to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, so it's worked out great. So besides pest control, you do what else?
We also do insulation. A couple of years ago, when the construction industry took a downturn, a lot of insulation companies went out of business. And so doing our pest treatments, we're under houses, we're in attics, and I noticed people that didn't have much insulation or any insulation. And I would tell them, previously recommend some insulation companies. Well, when they went out of business, there was nobody to refer them to. So I thought, well, I used to build houses, I know how to do this, so we got into the insulation business. And it's gone quite well. We have one crew just dedicated to doing insulation. We do crawl space, you know, floor insulation, that blown in attic insulation. We've gotten into new construction now that the building is picked back up, so we're staying quite busy with insulation.
Good. Well, now I'm going to put Eric on the spot here, okay? So Regina says that she gets eaten up by mosquitoes in your yard, right?
Yeah.
All the time. You
Yeah.
just, you know, you come in like a little pimple. So
Lots of little
I
pimples.
bet Eric could treat your yard once and find out if they bite you after that fact.
I will make you a deal. We will come treat your yard absolutely free of charge.
Okay.
Won't cost you a penny.
Okay.
If you like it, you can sign up with us next year starting in April. If you don't like it, you don't owe me a penny.
Check on it. We got it.
Okay.
Okay, now you heard
We
that
heard
here.
that.
So here's what's going to happen next month when we have our show. We need to remember to ask Regina if she's been bitten by mosquitoes. And if you were, you can just call him and
If I am, I'm calling. If I'm
he'll
not,
probably be chasing one mosquito around the yard with his fog machine.
I've got one right here that I've been
Yeah.
scratching all day.
So So you heard it right here. So see,
There we
Eric
go.
is a man of his word. You didn't know you're going to get a free treat today, did you? So that worked out really, really swell. So I like that. Well, we are going to come back in just a moment with another member of BNI. He's not been in the group that long, but he's already seen the value of the group. And so we'll bring him on board in just a second. But we want to remind you that it is September the 27th up at the Y at 7:45 in the morning. That's early. I'm not a morning person, but believe me, on Thursdays, I am a morning person. And again, we just encourage you, if you know someone in business that's struggling or just starting out, please contact us. We'd be more than happy for them to show up that day. And you know, you've got nothing to lose by showing up, and you may have something to gain. So check it out. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes with Joe Callahan. Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Has your disability application been denied? Are you frustrated with the administration's processing of your claim? Do you feel as though the administration simply does not understand why you cannot work? You're not alone. My name is Matthew Coleman, and I'm an attorney representative. I find that many of my clients share these concerns and others. As a representative, it's my job to communicate your claim to the administration in a language that they can understand. As an attorney, it's my duty to fight for the disability benefits that you deserve. Come talk to me. The Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson, PC.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
All right, we're here for the final segment of the show. We're here with Joe Callahan, and he is owner of Dick's Graphics, and we're going to let him tell us a little bit about how BNI has helped him. He's not been in, how long have you been in the group, Joe?
About 5 months now.
Okay, so he's not really been in the group like Eric, who's been in it from the beginning like I have been. So we want to kind of talk a little bit about how BNI has helped you and what you're getting out of it. And of course, Regina, I just found out, not only has Eric given her free mosquito treatment, but she's also getting a free hamburger today.
Not hamburger, hamburgers.
Hamburgers
From
today.
Scoops and Burgers.
From Scoops and Burgers. So,
And I'm waiting to see what else I get free.
Well, yeah. Well, at Dick's
like
Graphics,
this.
we do wall cleans. So what I was thinking was a kind of a picture of you blown up to about the size of this right here on a wall. See how it goes, then maybe start selling them. I'm looking at a profit opportunity for you. Exactly.
Maybe you just need to give one, make one for your husband, tell him to take it to work and put it on his office wall or something like that.
Exactly.
You know, make
I may bypass this freebie.
Oh!
that hurt.
Man, that hurt.
That hurt. All right. All right. Well, Joe, tell us a little bit. You've been in the group 5 months. What you have seen as a newcomer, because you know that's who we're trying to reach right now.
Right.
How it's helped you and what it's done for you.
For me personally, it has been fantastic. The way I got involved in it was Eric is actually a customer of ours.
Okay.
And he came by one day and I was up front and he very casually mentioned, hey, I'm part of a business networking group. We get together every Thursday. Would love to have you come. I was like, okay. And he handed me a little invitation, looked very formal. And I had something going on that first week, so I wasn't able to go. He came in the next week. The first week he had placed an order. He came in the next week to pick up his order. And he said, hey, didn't see you there. You gonna be able to make it? I said, yeah, I'll try to make it over there this week. Really, I was wanting to go to see what it was about, but I wasn't really excited about it. I thought, well, okay, I'll go see what it is, because Eric is a very good customer of mine. So I went over there, and you walk in this room, and to think you're walking in this room and there's 38 to 40 business owners there. Now me, for my printing company, we do business cards and letterhead, and my mind just started racing around, wow, I could do business. And I knew some of them, and I knew their businesses here in Cleveland that we didn't do business with. So right off the bat, it kind of interests me. And then after that, you and I went to lunch. And to kind of hear you detail it, I think the way you and Eric explained it was great. It's almost like it's a privilege to be a member because you have certain responsibilities that you have to meet.
Right.
You have to be there.
Right.
We require you to be there. You're required to do referrals, and you're going to get referrals.
Right.
So for me personally, about the second month I was in there, about 25% of my revenue that month came from BNI.
Isn't that
Wow.
That is just from BNI members. Like I said, I've been a member for about 5 months now. And as you said, we go in each Thursday, and at the end of each meeting, we talk about any referrals that we have for someone within the group. We talk about any one-on-ones, and a one-on-one is a meeting. If Doc and I went to lunch, that would be considered a one-on-one. And then the third one is closed business. For the 5 months I've been in there, I think there's only been 1 week that I did not have closed business.
That's amazing.
So every other week within those 5 months, I closed business with someone in there referred business to me.
Wow.
Right.
It has
And
been
every
phenomenal.
person in the group is a little bit different. Like I think Eric has closed business every week. I think our chiropractor has closed business every week. Our massage therapist has closed business every week. Now as a realtor, I don't have closed business every week, but last month I had 3, and I hadn't done any for a couple months before that. But as a realtor, you know, those commission checks are going to be a little bit bigger. So although I may not get as many in number, still what I'm earning more than makes up for that. And so we have some businesses like our financial advisors and people like that, you know, they may go a month or so before they get a referral, but boy, when they get one, it ends up being very worthwhile.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, some people join the group and go, oh, I'm not getting any referrals. It's like, well, it takes time because, first of all, you got to build trust and rapport with everybody, and that's why we meet one-on-one. And then from there, you know, those referrals are launched. And I think I remember my first year in real estate, 70% of what I did came from BNI because that was my first year, you know, and it actually has gotten a few less referrals, but the income from the referrals has gone up as things have changed. So it's still proven to be valuable.
Yeah. It's to me, it's all about building that network. I mean, you see that so much on the internet, and you see it on TV, and you read about it. It's about establishing that network, and to establish that network, like Eric said, there's a process in place. If you follow that process, it's going to work for you.
Right.
If you have the one-on-ones, which is you have to do that, because I may come in there each Thursday and I may see Doc and say, well, okay, I know we've got a realtor, but I don't really know much about Doc. So what you do is you schedule a one-on-one, and we go to lunch, or I've had people come to my office, sit down for a couple of hours and talk and learn about family and learn about their business and learn about them. So that way, when you have a friend that comes to you that says, man, I really need a pressure washer, but I don't know any of those guys, don't know if I can really trust them, then you can say, yeah, here's Chris Knabb, a Window Genie. Here's his name, here's his number, give him a call. I know him, I recommend him. So you're able to get that personal relationship and that trust that comes with it. And not only that, it can help you. An incident we had probably about 2 weeks ago, we had our air conditioner go out at work. And I don't know if you, at 87-degree weather, 90-degree weather, when your air conditioner goes out, it gets a little warm.
Yeah.
Well, we have Associated Climate Control, who is one
Right.
of our, Associated Heating and Air, I think. Anyway, I called them and said, hey, our unit is out. It's getting really hot up here. Within 2 hours, they were in our office, had it up and running, had our cool air going again. And the thing about it now, I can refer that when someone comes to me and says, hey, I need someone for heating and air. Here you go. They've done great things for me. Here's their number. Give them a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you had to do it over again, would you join?
Oh, in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Good.
Within the first, you talked about the expense. You talked about the annual fee. You talked about there's a quarterly fee that pays
Covers breakfast. Yeah.
Right. That pays for the breakfast in the room that we rent. Within my first month, I made back my annual fee and an entire year worth of the quarterly fees that we have to pay.
Great.
So within the first month.
Yeah.
So all of that, anything after that is profit.
Good. Well, I hope today you have learned. I'm a big believer in B&I, and I think you've heard testimony to that. And I would encourage you, if you know somebody in some of those categories that we've talked about, please have them call Eric and check it out. And just come to the meeting on the Thursday, the 27th, up at the Y. See what you think, and you're not obligated at all. So please check out Business Networking International. It may be the thing for you, or it may be the thing for a friend of yours. So check that out. And the other thing they need to check out is my house on Bobo Avenue, 2900. So go by that, check that out, give me a call. I'd love to show it to you sometime. And I appreciate, Joe, you coming in, and Regina, as always. You've done well today. She's never gotten a bunch of free gifts from the show. I hope you don't expect this every time now.
I do.
Oh, okay. So, but anyway, and we're
Spoil
glad.
me.
Yeah, and we are glad that you joined us today also. And we will look forward to seeing you next month. Same time, same place. Thank you so much.
You forgot to knock.
Oh, yeah. One opportunity to knock. Talk to Doc. Talk to Doc.
Talk to Doc.
There you go.